Big.
Donald Trump.
Divisive.
Amanda Edwards.
Elect me.
I'm running to be your next U.S. Senator for the United States in the state of Texas.
Good morning. It's a Saturday morning. We are in a rush. We are heading out to the community to get our day started. I'm a different type of candidate. I'm a millennial. I also happen to be a woman of color. Oh, it's got surprises. I liken this race to the story of David Goliath. John Cornyn, he has been supported for quite some time, but we see that support eroding. Texas turned purple. Beto came within about 2.5% of winning that last election when most people would have said he couldn't do it. Texas is changing, and it's changing rapidly. So while it might seem that I have some disadvantages by being a local elected official or being younger, these are only strengths of mine that I will bring with me, just as David was able to do against Goliath. Miss Moore, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Wonderful to see you. This looks so much better. Harvey was the second worst disaster in U.S. history in terms of dollars and cents. People were made to be in very desperate circumstances. This countertop, you see us talking? That's the countertop. It was nothing. Immediately after the storm, I mobilized hundreds of volunteers to go door to door to canvass areas that had high concentrations of lower income seniors. We've been doing that work for the past 2 years. Oh wow, this is a whole new house. This is great. I remember the hole was right here. You can see right to the bottom. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall in now. Recovery in our country is a very slow process. When the cameras go away, the attention does as well. We cannot forget those images, we cannot forget those stories, and we have to design disaster recovery to make sure that their lives are restored. Hello there. How you doing? I'm your city council member, Amanda Edwards. How are you today? We're looking at things like expanding access to health care. John Cornyn has voted at least half a dozen times to overturn access to health care. When I was growing up, my father had cancer. He was diagnosed when I was a child and suffered from it until I was 17 when he passed away. When I was watching him in his journey, I'd ask a lot of questions. Who's paying for this? How much does this cost? What happens if the insurance company says no? Those are real questions that really reflect what families go through when they're facing life or death circumstances. Well, I'm glad you're doing well. You sound like you have a lot of energy. My mom got diagnosed with cancer, and she is undergoing chemotherapy, but she's on the upswing, so she had some energy in her voice, and so things are on a good path, so I'm feeling really encouraged. Tell them I was such a bad student.
No, no. Actually, the one thing that was always impressive is I think you were always a leader, but you weren't that charismatic leader. You were the quiet, confident leader. People followed you, but they didn't follow you because you were banging the cymbals. They were following you because you were doing good work. You were like challenging the status quo.
How's the campaign?
It's going well. It's going well. It's busy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot busier than just being a council member.
Texas is a big state.
It is a big state. During the Trump administration, Americans have watched our country get more and more divided, more distracted from the issues that matter most to people.
Sometimes we say something like, as women, you learn by doing. And in our case, we learn by getting it done.
I think people underestimate the power of the electorate to reverse course, and 2020 will be the year in which they do.